Welcome to Inside Communications Radio, presented by Media Training Worldwide. I'm Mike Bako, and today we're joined by Richard Spiegel, the founder of Crowd Together. Richard, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Mike.
So, crowdsourcing. When I think of all the ways that companies, organizations use social media, a lot of times they're using it wrong. And now we have this new entry of crowdsourcing that everyone's been hearing so much about. How can companies really use crowdsourcing to their advantage?
Well, there's a couple different ways that companies are currently using crowdsourcing, and there are, in my mind, more advantageous ways that they can use crowdsourcing for some very specific purposes. And primarily what I focused on is engaging and activating their community. There are tools in the marketplace like 99 Designs where a company can go and tap into a community of designers, which is really the value that 99 Designs offers, and other companies like that to get creative work done. But I think the real opportunity is to actually engage a brand's existing community, because within that existing community you have folks who are very enthusiastic or passionate about the brand, and that's a little bit different than when you engage a creative community like 99 Designs, where that person who works on your logo or your creative work, they may not have the type of connection with your brand that your fans do. And so by utilizing tools like the platform that we offer, and there are other tools like that, a brand can actually set up a marketing campaign where they invite their community to participate in, let's say, product design, and they get a variety of different benefits out of that. Number one is the activation. Of course, there's engagement, and then there is the idea that participants become promoters, and if they're using a voting model, so if I submit my design or my photo or my video and I need to get the most votes, what I need to do is I need to go out and get my friends through Facebook and Twitter to come vote for that particular submission, and so as a fan and community member, I become a promoter for that brand. So
and then the tree of this idea then gets spread out all over. Let's take a little bit of an inside look into, say, one of those crowdsourcing elements in terms of a contest, which I really think plays into the complete opposite of how a lot of organizations and individuals use social media, where it's just pushing out a specific idea or content, and it's not engaging the audience. Talk a little bit about when an organization uses crowdsourcing for a contest. You touched on it just a moment ago, but in terms of really getting that interaction and spreading the message when they use a contest for crowdsourcing.
Sure. Well, I think the most important thing is to kind of create a contest or campaign that connects with the community. And the first thing that does is kind of shows that you understand what that particular community finds interesting. I always use the example, and I think it's one of the most successful examples of this type of crowdsourcing, and it's the campaign that Toyota has put on 4 times now within 2 years. It's called Toyota Sponsifier, and they gave their community and NASCAR fans the opportunity to actually create the graphics package for their Toyota Camry NASCAR, and the one that got the most votes was literally produced and featured in a race, and I believe was used as a pace car, and that just shows their sort of understanding of what it is that their fan base is interested in, and giving them that opportunity. And some of the winning cars received tens of thousands of votes. So that particular individual was able to actually go out and raise awareness for their submission in such a way that they drove thousands of people to the Toyota brand.
Let's take a look at that Toyota and NASCAR partnership for a second. Did they find that younger people were coming and engaging with this more? Certainly every sport, every organization is looking for that next wave of fans to come in to push revenue, to push everything going into the decades to come. Did they notice, obviously people using social media are going to be on the younger side, did they notice more young fans coming in?
Well, I don't actually have that information, but I can tell you that I believe it's Mr. Phelps. He's their chief marketing officer, had just sort of announced that NASCAR has a dedicated initiative over the next few years to try and capture younger audiences, high school and college-age individuals. But some of the interesting results that I do know about from the Toyota Sponsifier campaign, one, I think either the first or the second year, the individual who won was, for all intents and purposes, a senior citizen.
Wow.
So I think that was kind of a surprise result. But the reason why that person won is that they latched on to a cause and made their design about a cause, and they were able to garner the interest of that the community that felt strongly about that particular cause. I believe it might have been Lou Gehrig's disease or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, however, I do think that campaigns like this will certainly have an impact and resonate within a younger community who have grown up with the Nike IDs and the threadlesses and the whole idea that they have the ability to play an active role in the creation of a product or service that's meaningful to them.
Well, speaking about taking an active role, South by Southwest certainly engaged and encouraged people that were coming there to pick some of the panelists. Now, this is an opportunity where people are going to go there. You want someone to be appealing to the audience, and here they're having the South by Southwest panel picker campaign to actually have the people speak at the event. So certainly there's a great interplay there between the crowdsourcing element and really giving your audience something that they want to see.
I mean, that's a perfect example, and that's also an example of the breadth in which this tactic can be used. We actually ran an interesting, or I should say, our platform was used for an interesting campaign recently where Scoremore, which is a local or regional music production organization, they put on primarily hip-hop shows. And what they did is they actually gave fans of Big Sean the opportunity, fans who were performers, who had their own acts, the opportunity to submit a video and appeal to the community to get the most votes. And if they did, they were actually given a 15-minute opening set at one of Big Sean's shows in Dallas and then another one in San Antonio. So another interesting use of crowdsourcing as a concept to engage and give the community the opportunity to choose something that they're going to ultimately consume.
Yeah, wow, that's certainly an incentive to participate in that. Richard, we thank you for participating with us on Inside Communications Radio. Where can people find out more information about Crowd Together?
You can visit crowdtogether.com, and you can follow us at Crowd Together on Twitter.
Great. Richard, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.